Well, I hope everybody is staying healthy and safe, and please continue to wear your mask. This is Pam Coleman with Miss C's Homestyle, and we're continuing our Cooking with Love series. You know, Thanksgiving's coming up, and even if you have your own recipe for a dressing or you want to create a new one for your dressing, we're going to show you how you can do that today. All right? Now, there are two types of dressings that we can make. One is with the regular bread, just regular white bread, your traditional dressing. And then a lot of people like, especially in the South, the cornbread dressing. So these are two options for you. Now, on the bread dressing, this is done from scratch. Just take a regular loaf of bread, right? Put it in the oven, and you just put it in there for about 15, 20 minutes. Please don't leave the kitchen, because this bread will burn quickly. Put it at 375 degrees and then bring it out, and you have a nice solid piece of bread. But this is kind of what all the stuffing is made from in the beginning. And then with your cornbread dressing, just make your cornbread. All you need to do is take the cornbread. Once you made it, I just happen to have some muffins left over, but that's all we want to do. We just want to take it and crumble this bread up, and this will be the basis of your dressing when you're doing your cornbread dressing. All right, so that's pretty easy. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about our traditional dressing. That's what we're gonna do today. So basically, all you do is just take and break your bread up. This will be about the size of the pieces of bread that you'll be needing, all right? So we're just gonna crunch all of this up real good and real quick. That's all we wanna do is just break them up, but make sure your pieces are somewhat uniform, all right? Great. And I just really want to show you how you break that up. So we're going to fill this whole thing up here. But some of the other main ingredients of the traditional dressing are the veggies. This has been time tested and used for generations, especially in my family. So what you have here, you have your celery, onions, and your green peppers. But please note the size. You don't want to make them too small or too big. And this will be about the right size to cut that up. Well, the many ingredients that we put in there, definitely the seasonings are the most. So what you want to do is add poultry seasoning as well as sage. And then we have garlic powder and onion powder. And we have black pepper. And of course, you can add a little seasoned salt to that to taste. And then you would go ahead and fry up some sausage, just your roll package from the store. And that also gives it that additional flavor. Now, please keep in mind, once you get it, you can put your touch on it. I've used apples, I've used oysters, so there is no particular limit to what you can do with your dressing. All right? So we're gonna just continue to break this bread up a little bit. All right, guys, now to complete the dressing here, what we wanna do, we wanna take this trio and saute it. Now, you saute means simply to make it a little translucent or whatever, but we want to go ahead and start that process here. So we'll put everything in, and you can use butter, olive oil, avocado oil, right? Any of those oils will allow us to do the same process. All right, so all we do is just simmer that around and just push that around. All right, and if you were here, you can smell it. Smell all the goodness going into here. Again, this is the art of cooking with love. All right, and we can take this opportunity now at this point is just to use some of the seasonings. You want to sprinkle that in. So we've got the, and we can actually use most of this. This is not too much, just a couple teaspoons here. All right, and then we have your sage that is going in. Boy, if you guys could smell this. This is absolutely wonderful. We got a little of the pepper going in. All right, just go ahead and layer your flavors. We'll mix it all up and it'll all come together. All right, this is what we do here at Miss C's Homestyle, and it is all about that art of cooking with love. All right, so we'll just continue this here for a little bit. I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit so we can get that cooked in. All right, guys? And then at any time, you can go ahead and add the sausage that we've already pre-cooked. All right, but it has a lot of flavor in there, and that's what gives it that little extra punch and makes the dressing at Thanksgiving. Now keep in mind, dressing is not just for Thanksgiving. So if you feel like having some dressing in the middle of the year, you go ahead and put this same setup together and enjoy it. All right, guys, welcome back. This has sauteed down and it is ready to be mixed with the bread. Again, the bread is all broken up. All we have to do is add the dressing. So we're just gonna bring this over here and simply slide all of that right into there, and then we'll mix it all up, all right? And that's how we get that going right there. And we'll just turn this, okay. Turn it off. Well, at this point, so what we want to do is just mix it around. I usually let it cool off a little bit and mix it by hand, but we're just going to keep moving this around so you can get an idea of what it should look like. All right. Now, I'm going to be using water today. That's what Mama used back in the day. And but you can always definitely get some chicken broth, which will give it a lot more flavor as you add this in and in. All right, so we're just gonna get that. And what that water does, it obviously softens the bread particles and allows you just to kind of mix it on in, and here we go. So you just wanna mix that in real good. Now, as you do that process, that water or the broth is being absorbed by the bread, okay? And then that's pretty much it. That's the recipe for this. So what you want to do is just get this all settled in, all right? And at this point, your dressing is literally done. And I always like to taste it before I put it in the oven. It is ready to go, so what you want to do is just put it in the oven at 350 degrees, and then it should cook for about 30 minutes. But one key to cooking with love, when you begin to smell the food, the aromas of whatever you're cooking, that's almost the food telling you, hey, come check on me, see how I'm doing. So when you begin to smell your dressing, go check on it, whatever, and you just want a brown crust on top. And from my heart to your kitchen, this is Pam Coleman with Miss C's Homestyle as we continue our series, Cooking with Love, and today we've got our traditional dressing. And of course, you can have it for Thanksgiving, but please use this recipe throughout the year and enjoy.